like bewildered, puzzled. Something's going on here. We're going to have to get to the bottom of it because something, and you're like exhausted by it. I don't know. Did somebody up and leave you with no explanation and you've been exhausting yourself you've been exhausting all resources trying to figure out what's going on? Maybe they left you for somebody else. And you're like, how long has this been going on? Or you find out somebody's pregnant. Something's going on. And you really had these plans in mind and these goals, but you're like, it takes two. And it's almost like you're not ready to give this person up because you don't feel like you got the answers or the closure you needed to be able to move on. So you feel like it's still up in the air. Maybe they told you, hey, I would still like to, date you, or I would still like to see you, or we're still dating, but like they've cut off the monogamy or the exclusiveness. There's definitely something here. And it's totally weird because I just looked over my shoulder when I was talking about that, because it was like somebody walked up on me and I felt it was so bizarre just now. It literally was like somebody came up over my left shoulder and I got caught in the act of something. Did somebody catch somebody in the act? Did somebody like look over their shoulder while they were like online or see something they weren't supposed to see? That was totally bizarre. Okay. The next card you have, is your distant past. So over the past, few years, it could be 10 years. This is definitely, it can even, string as old as childhood. And I always read this together for reconciliation and anybody who's single, because it's generally not the person you're thinking about reconciling with, although sometimes it is. And you have the King of Swords. And I always bring up this card in any read because it's a card that reminds you either to avoid certain behaviors, avoid certain situations, or embrace certain things that were positive that you would like to bring into the relationship or what you're looking for right now this month. So you have the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is all about truth and all about, justness and fairness. So this tells me too that some of you are married and that ended in divorce. There was, adultery. Something was hidden. And gosh, if you're looking to reconcile, it makes me wonder, like, it could be the same person. It could be somebody you're with for a long time and you are blindsided and have no idea what's going on. And unfortunately for some of you, you're going to find out some truths that you may not want to. And right now I feel like you're fighting to figure that out. Now, if this isn't you and this is past relationships, this definitely says here that some of you witnessed, whether you're reconciling or whether you're single or looking to reconcile, or whether you're single, this says that a lot of you went through watching like some sort of legal system. So maybe like you watched a parent or an ex, somebody was put in jail, incarcerated, and maybe for a long, long time. This also says that some of you witnessed parents go through like a pretty bad divorce. And that's kind of put you on guard a little bit. The King definitely says some sort of justice was served, or some sort of, gosh, I'm even thinking like somebody was murdered. I know that's kind of crazy, but Pisces, like some of you have had some crazy stuff going on now, very interesting stuff, and have had some past issues. So I think, especially for anybody who's single, the reason you are looking forward to these goals and planning and you're exhausted from the dating and everything is because you want to find somebody tried and true, but sometimes you have a hard time because maybe you did witness a divorce, or you witnessed, hard times in a relationship yourself, and there were lies. Things just were not, and it was kind of like you knew it then and you saw it and you didn't do anything, or you didn't want to believe it, and now you like swear you won't get into that. And so maybe that's why you haven't really put yourself out there to meet somebody special, and now you know it's time. The next card you have is your immediate past over the past 2 weeks, past month or two, and you have the Seven of Cups, and that plays into exactly what I'm talking about here. So if you're single, this is saying you've been having fun, you've been having a good time, there have been some choices, some temptations, some of you have had a plethora of suitors, some of you have had, opportunities for physical relationships, kind of like a friends with benefits type situation. You have been here, been there, been everywhere. I'm not talking about physically. I meant just like maybe some of you have been going on adventures, vacations, dancing, clubs, bars. maybe some of it too, it doesn't have to be that extreme, but it could just be, dating, like just enjoying it, like dating one person after the other or dating several people at a time. Again, I don't get this like sexual prowess, like you've been sleeping around or anything, just more like having fun and enjoying it and not settling down and not expecting anything major from one person. And again, you're wishing, it's almost like you're meeting people that meet the standards of how you would want somebody to look. And I'm not saying that you're being, conceited or anything, but come on, we all know what we like or what we're attracted to and, what type of personality we like and, looks that maybe we crave more than others, or get our attention more than others. And this is telling me that some of you have met some really handsome or beautiful people and you're kind of like, why can't I meet the whole package? These are people that are not going to be somebody that you're going to marry. That they're not stable. That even if they are stable, they're not looking for anything serious. But you've just been kind of having fun. And now you're exhausted. And now you've kind of played it out and you're going, nope, I want to start all over. I want something serious. I want to make it happen. So if you've been dating, and if you're single, man, you've had a lot of options and there's a lot of temptation out there and you would love to, hang out with this person, that person, have a good time. But you're exhausted and it's just not what you want. And honestly, it's been your choice to indulge in that. And you may have missed a few opportunities. And I think some of you may realize that now too, because maybe a year ago you were thinking, this isn't quite where I expected to be in my dating life. I thought I'd be a little further along at this point. If you're looking to reconcile, this says that there's been some sort of temptations or options. You too have been wishful thinking that, hey, this person's going to come back. They're going to sweep me off my feet. It's going to be great. And I just feel like they've had a lot of options or temptation. Something came into play here where, and maybe it was you, Pisces. Maybe you were like, you know what? I've got options. I've got choices. I don't need you anymore. You've been dishonest. Again, it could be if it was something that's, somebody you've been with for a long time and they were dishonest or unfair or, some sort of legal issues or divorce coming up, etc. The only thing you care about is your kids. And you're out there. You're kind of like, I wish we could have made it work. I wish it could have been beautiful, but I got a lot of options out here. I've got some choices to make. You also may have choices to make if you haven't heard from them and you're not getting the clear picture or they have backed off and you're not sure what's going on. This is saying that they have some temptations. They're choosing, and it may be a choice between you and one other people. There's something else going on here, maybe even like the grass is greener mentality. So Pisces, you need to figure out your self-worth and what you're willing to put up with. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months and through the end of the year. And you have strength. And I love strength. Strength is fantastic because this is patience, but believing in yourself. This is all about self-belief. So if you're single, have patience that you will find what you want. But you kind of have to let go of that mentality. So if you have been having fun and a good time, that's fine. But if you keep that mentality and you keep that momentum, that's what you're putting out in the universe. That's what you're going to get back. So have patience. Be strong. Take a rest. Get offline. Get off meetup groups. Take a few days, a few weeks for yourself and enjoy it. Because this says in the next few months, you're going to control the situation better. You're going to control what you want and control the type of people that you meet. And not in a bad way, but come on, we know. Like there are certain things. I have done plenty of online dating. I've done meetup groups. I've done, I've gone out with friends and done like dating experiences, whatnot. I have been through the dating scene before, trust me. And you do kind of have to take a step back. If you want to change course or you want to change momentum, you do have to kind of get out of that mindset of having fun. And not that you can't have fun, but you know what I mean? Like having a lot of fun. Fun that's not going to result in what you want. And this in strength is saying, look, you have the ability to control the types of people you hang out with. I've read the signs. You've read the signs. You know by now when somebody's being sincere, whether they're being genuine and whether they want something serious. you're just going to have to hold out for what you want. And you're just going to have to decide, if you're exhausted and you want something serious, that it takes time. You have to kiss a lot of frogs to find the one. You just do. So you're going to have to learn to be patient, which, as a water sign, and I know very well, patience is not always our strong suit, because we do want to believe that people are genuine when they say they like us a lot. We do want to believe those certain things. But if somebody says, man, I like you, I could see us together for a long, long time. Hey, you want to come over tonight? And you just met? Yeah, they probably, yeah, that's not, no, not what they want. The Strength card, if you're looking to reconcile, is also self-belief and control. So this is telling me you need to turn the tables, okay? You need to be the strong man, because somewhere here, you're coming in almost like, what? Wait, what's going on? And I'm not saying, Pisces, that you're weak, because Pisces are definitely not weak. You're very strong. But this is saying that, you know, you may be sitting here, not sitting here, but yes, some of you are waiting for an answer from somebody else. Stop waiting for an answer from somebody else and make your own decision. And I'm not trying to be harsh, but I just get this picture of somebody sitting there going, okay, well, let me know when you're ready to date again. Okay, well, you know, I know that you kind of need your space, so let me know when you're feeling better, because you love and you care about this person. But guess what? You have a life to live too, and it's not fair for them to leave you high and dry. So be patient with the situation, okay? But be patient with yourself and have self-belief and control. And flip it a little bit. If they're really busy, guess what? You're busy too, because you need to find things to do to keep your mind off of it. You need to have a life as well. Now, it could be, if it's something different, you know, to where you have decided that you want to take a step apart. Although I'm getting the feeling, Pisces, the majority of you were kind of left in that situation almost unwillingly. But if you've decided you want to take a break because maybe there was some sort of infidelity, there was some sort of incarceration, there was something, maybe rehab or something. If you've decided you want to stick with them, you are going to need patience, because it's not going to happen overnight, and you're not going to get the outcome you want if you push it. The next card you have is the Fool, and the Fool is your immediate future. So this is throughout the month of November, and the Fool is amazing. This is beginnings, starting all over again. This is saying, you know, you've got this. You can magnify whatever you want. This is somebody who's coming in fearless. So if you're single, you are being fearless, but you're also being cautious, but you're beginning again. You're beginning anew. And that's exactly, it goes along with the page very well, because this is saying, look, you've got this. This is saying, hey, I'm ready to go. I'm feeling good, new beginnings, but I'm going to start over the way I want. I'm going to start over, you know, completely different situation, and just kind of make things happen. I mean, the next thing you have after the Fool is the Magician. So you're just going to kind of keep going in order. Again, the Fool possesses the control and being able to connect with people and start new things and having new beginnings. But Pisces, you will need to put that out to the universe, because right now, the past few months, it's been more like this, party, having a good time. This is going to relax a little bit, get this rest, take the time, think about what you want, make those plans, and then start new beginnings. That's what November is going to be for you, Pisces. New beginnings, very new beginnings. And there's going to be plenty of fish for you to choose from. You're just going to have to kiss a lot of frogs, be patient to get this big old lizardy looking fish, which is where you're ultimately heading. You're definitely going to be meeting somebody fairly soon. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty quick. In fact, it might move quicker than you want, because you have some major arcana, and coming out with the Fool is saying, like, you're beginning a cycle again. I mean, that's the beginning of the major arcana, and a new start, a fresh start. And it usually moves pretty quick. If you're looking to reconcile, this is new beginning. So I really feel like you're going to have to be fearless here. You don't want to be, this innocence, because the Fool is about innocence too, right? It's about beginning a cycle all over again. So starting anew. And that's what the Page of Cups is about, like the childlike innocence. That's fine, Pisces, if you're looking to reconcile, but don't be naive. Like I said, take that control back, take it back. You demand respect. You've earned that right. You deserve it. And so come into it, start making your own beginnings, and it'll turn. The tables will turn. I know it's so much easier said than done, but I've been here. If you take care of you and you focus on you, their focus will shift on you too. The next card you have is any future external factors. So over the next month throughout November, but anything tangible that could be coming up in your life. Could be in the beginning, middle, end. It could be for one day or the entire month. And you have the 7 of coins or pentacles here. And if you're single, this is saying, look, you have a lot of choices to make. And the choices you make are going to either pay off in the end or they're not. It's a risk-reward type situation, but you're going to assess the situation. So you're going to move out of this type of mentality, I think. You're going to assess the situation by getting rest, really contemplating your goals and what you want. And the 7 is saying, look, this person's debating. Do I knock down some of these, pentacles, or do I leave them up there? If I knock one pentacle down, does it knock all of them down, etc.? And this is something that's very important this month, Pisces, if you're single, because this is saying, look, if you really, really want somebody and you really, really have these goals, maybe of getting married or meeting somebody amazing, you have to assess the type of people you're dating. You have to take a risk, maybe on somebody you're not used to. Take a risk on talking to somebody you normally wouldn't give the time of day. Talk to somebody who doesn't fall into the pattern of what you're used to. Talk to somebody who may not be somebody you find as attractive, but has the same goals. As you talk to them and as you spend time with them, do they become more attractive? A lot of times that happens. In fact, I've experienced one of my best relationships ever. At first, I was not very attracted to him. And a lot of people were like, that's interesting. That's not who I thought you would pick. And then as we grew and bonded, he was like the most beautiful person I had ever met. So remember that there's lots of things here, Pisces, at play, not just certain things that you've kind of built up in your head. And I'm not saying that you're conceited. We all do that, right? We all have, trust me, one of my best friends, she's like, bald men are the best. And she dates one of the hairiest men I've ever met in my life. So, just give it a chance. This is all about taking chances. If you're looking to reconcile, you also have to make a decision. You can either be patient and wait and see what they decide to do with their life for you to make a move in yours, or you can take the risk, assess the situation, find out if it's even going to make you happy to get back with this person, or if maybe it's time to focus on you and make choices that are going to be right for you and choices that are going to make you feel good. So that's all this is for reconciliation, literally is assess the situation, make the choice that's going to be best for you, and take a risk. Take a risk. Take a risk for you and for what you want and for your dignity. The next card you have is any future internal factors. So anything you might feel throughout the month of November. Could be in the middle of the month, the end of the month, again, 1 day or 10 days out of the month. And you have the 4 of coins. So luckily this is internal because this is somebody being miserly. This is somebody feeling frugal. So if you're single, you might be just feeling frugal with your time and attention. You may just be saying, I don't know how much time or attention I want to put into dating. I want to meet somebody, but I don't really want to have to put all this energy. I'm exhausted and I don't have the patience for this. You're going to have the patience for it to find what you want. You also don't want to get too possessive about it either. You don't want to put out in the universe that like, hey, if you want me, come and get me. Or, I don't know. I just be very careful in presenting, be careful in yourself in becoming frugal in what you want. Like I said, date somebody who's different. Something right here is saying, look, don't take the easy road. Don't, because you're going to fall back into the same pattern. You're going to have to harness that strength because you're going to have that strength in the next month or two. And it's going to prove fruitful. But right now, don't be possessive with your heart. And don't turn down people again because they're not making you feel this temptation. They're not sparking the butterflies in your stomach right this minute, because Pisces, there's somebody coming that if you can get past this hump of something about, now I'm not saying, if they have the creep vibe or something, then move along. But there's somebody who might strike you as like a friend, or at first they're like boring, or they're reluctant to talk to you, or they feel stiff, or it's like, I don't know, you feel like you have to carry it. And you may just be like, I don't have time for this. I don't want to, but I'm asking you, if you get that feeling, I would just give it a week or two. It's very interesting because I said a week, and it's like, give it a week to either get to this where it's going to be like this fun party, or to this where it's going to be a risk that pays off in the end. And 7 might be your number for some reason here, because this is saying temptations lead you on, and being, you know, smart about it and having patience is going to lead you in a different direction. So maybe 7 days, 7 weeks, maybe the 7th of the month, something. It's very interesting. Numbers have been popping out a ton this month for a lot of people. So anyways, if you are looking to reconcile, this is saying either be possessive of yourself, your time, your energy, and what you're willing to put into the relationship, or understand that you're going to feel like they're being frugal with their, right now you're feeling impoverished in love. You're feeling like you're broke in love. Like they have taken your heart and kind of left you on hold, and you have the choice to either allow them to continue to keep the balls in their court, or you can say, forget it, I'm out of here. I'm going to start anew, and I'm going to make the choice and take the risk. And if you want me back, you know, we'll see when the time comes.